Now, when we go ahead and examine the Mandalorian series, there is one thing that a lot of fans really love about this show is that Jon Favreau is very much in line with the vision by George Lucas and what George Lucas' vision was for Star Wars Legends, as well as his original trilogy and the prequel trilogy movies. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the thing about Disney Star Wars right now is that they are currently on the road to success. We already have a batch of Star Wars TV shows currently in development. Already over a dozen are being worked on by the creators over at Lucasfilm to really ensure that Star Wars can be as expansive as possible to explore all their options of different key characters within the overall franchise to really bring back or actually satisfy the majority of Star Wars fans, whether you're a hardcore or casual fan. Now, with that being said, The Mandalorian Season 3, by the way, and the Book of Boba Fett, as well as Mando Season 4, these three major projects are already being worked on. Of course, Season 4 is more in the early development phase, as well as Season 3. The Book of Boba Fett is slated for a release of this year, 2021, this December, and they're looking to drop Mandalorian Season 3 by 2022. Now, with that being said, of course, one particular project that a lot of fans out there have been very skeptical over is the High Republic era. We do know that they're starting off with books and comics and novels, and they're going to eventually branch out to TV shows like The Acolyte and even other TV shows, quite possibly, for the overall Star Wars universe. Now, with that being said, alright, everything related to George Lucas. Now, with The Mandalorian Season 2 now finished and Season 3 currently in development, both Disney and Lucasfilm are focused on their new Star Wars projects moving ahead for the franchise. It's described, however, that behind the scenes, creator George Lucas is very angry with the results of the High Republic era for Phase 1 of Star Wars, and how the first phase was done by Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy, that will actually fall well into the year of 2022. Now, it's noted that George Lucas recently had conversations with Disney CEO Bob Chapek to regulate the second and third phases of the High Republic timeline of Star Wars, that is actually set to be balanced by George, Jon, and Dave Filoni. Not just that, however, but Lucas is described to also be busy working on introducing the Old Republic era to Star Wars by next year in 2022 to the fans around the world, that will give fans a brand new experience of that timeline from Star Wars Legends. Lucas is described to be very let down over how Kathleen Kennedy poorly handled Phase 1 of the High Republic timeline of Star Wars overall. Now, let's just stop here for 1 second before we actually move on. The thing about the High Republic era, a lot of fans out there are very much, annoyed of how it turned out to be. I actually voiced my opinion on this just yesterday, if you guys want to go ahead and check it out. The High Republic era, to me, alright, to really put it in the shortest of words here, it just feels like a soft version of Star Wars. That's the best way that I personally can explain it. Everything related to what George Lucas has been doing so far sounds great with Jon and Dave, but the first phase of the High Republic era so far, I'm not all that impressed. However, Phase 2 and Phase 3 are looking to actually be quite promising, because this is going to be all regulated by George, Jon, and Dave moving ahead. So that's one thing to actually at least look forward to, because they're going to actually throw in a lot of their creativity skills within those two phases of the High Republic. By the way, the High Republic timeline is going to last in or around 5, maybe 6 years. They're aiming to drop this, every single year, by the way, different batches of books and novels and TV shows, you name it, well into the year of 2026, maybe 2027 at latest. That's their aim right now. So the High Republic era is going to be around for quite some time, but George Lucas wants to regulate the last two phases, which is good news, because that means it's not going to be quite as, connected to Kathleen Kennedy as Phase 1 is. Phase 1 was entirely done by Kathleen Kennedy because it's the residual project, or projects that were done by Kathleen before she actually lost her creative power over at Lucasfilm. The other thing is this, is that we also know that George Lucas is a visionary, as well as Jon Favreau and Dave. They're all working together to really provide as much authentic material. What they're doing is that they're going to be bringing back tons of Star Wars Legends content back into the mix under the Disney canon to really give the fans something great to look forward to. And that's a good thing about all of this, is that Star Wars Legends is coming back in numerous ways. And the High Republic era is pretty much, going to be a thing that they're going to focus less on. Again, like I say, they're already working on the Old Republic era. That's going to be a big deal in 2022, so keep your eyes open for that. That, I believe, is going to be far more successful than the High Republic. Let's not forget that the Old Republic, if they stick with Star Wars Legends, is going to take place thousands of years before Episode 1. So, like I've said before in the past, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.